Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah Will View. Welcome to Dollar Tree Theater. Dollar Tree Theater is happening right now. Dollar Tree Theater is when we watch and review a movie that is 125 or less. 125 or less. And we review it and share it with you. And I always do a little vote for mine. I put out four movies plus a Cheetah's Choice, and you guys can commit to see who what we're gonna review. So last week we had these movies up for to be picked from. We had Good with Viggo Mortensen and Jason Isaacs. Nobody voted for that. Not one single vote. The Lazarus Effect with Olivia Wilde and Donald Glover. That got 18%. The Cheetah's Choice got 27%. Yay, Cheetah. Gothica with Halle Berry got 27%. And Eloise, starring Eliza Dushku and Chase Crawford, also got 27%. So we had a three-way tie on the top. And so I got to pick the movie that we're going to watch. Um, yeah. So I picked one of the movies that we listed. We picked Eloise. Um, so Eloise is a 2016 film. It was put out by Vertigo Entertainment, rated R, 89 minutes. Elijah Dushku, Chase Crawford, P.J. Byrne, Brandon T. Jackson, and Robert Patrick, and Nicole Forrester. All right. So this movie opens up with us seeing Elijah Dushku. She is sitting in a room and she is clearly uh, bewitched and bothered. A police detective is trying to ask her what happened to her and her friends, her brother. They had something tragic had happened, and the police detective is trying to ascertain what happened. But Pia, that's Elijah Dushku's character, says nothing, and then we segue back to what happened. That's, so, first of all, before we get into the movie, I just want to share a little bit of history with this place because this is actually a real place. Eloise is a real place. In fact, it's right next door to me. It's next door to my town. Next door, the town next to me. It was a massive hospital complex that was started in 1832. It closed in 1982. The hospital closed in 1986. At the peak of its existence, it was a town within itself. It had 78 buildings. The max capacity it had 10,000 patients and 2,000 staff. It included a police department, a fire department, working farms, a post office, a train station, a buggy station. So it was all within contained. It was all like a little town. Over the years, it slowly eroded and finally closed its doors. Now there's only like five buildings left. It's been converted and gentrified and remade over, so there's very little left of the original complex. Yes, they do say that some of the area is haunted, including the cemetery. Who knows? Well, maybe the shadow knows. Okay, so Eloise, this is what we're going to be talking about. So we meet our main hero, Jacob Martin, who's played by Chase Crawford, and Jacob is having a hard time. He's got a small business, but he's way behind in all his bills. Things are looking pretty bleak when he gets a phone call from an attorney saying that his estranged father has died and he has left Jacob's an inheritance. So Jacob goes to Detroit and goes to the lawyer's office and finds out that yes, his father has left him $1.2 million, but he also needs to find his aunt's death certificate. He needs to, even though she's listed as dead, it still would help him to get the certificate. If they have to go through legal discourse, it will take 6 to 7 months for him to get the paperwork. He doesn't have that kind of that time, so he runs into an old buddy of his named Dell, and who Dell's a good guy, but he's a little bit shady. And they're good friends, and so much so that Jacob offers to help him out when he finds out that Dell's in deep due, uh, up to his neck with $20,000 worth of trouble around it. And he says, "You come help me, and I'll get rid of that for you." So the two friends, they go ahead and reunite, and they head out to a bar to talk. And while they're doing that, they meet the bartender, and we see that it is Pia, uh, played by Elisha Dusku. And so they buy a drink, and then she tells them that, hey, it's your birthday. It's tradition here that we at the birthday boy always buys a round of drinks for the bar. So he does, and then his friend Dale tells him that, hey, he happens to know somebody who could help us, to help them. He's got he's got a buddy named Scott, played by P.J. Byrne, who knows the complex of Eloise like the back of his hand. So they go over there to Scott's house, and while yes, he does know the complex, but he's also special needs. He's mentally he's like a 6 or 7 year old, but he's very very smart. He's smart, but it's his but he's smart as far as certain things go. But he jumps up and down, and he's like he's like a giant kid. He's also invented a way for him to detect paranormal activity, and so are they talking about this? The three of them are talking about this, and Jacob is, they're about ready to head on over to the Eloise. All of a sudden, Scott's sister comes home, and she sees that her brother has company, and she's not too happy about it, especially when it's Pia. Pia's home, and all of a sudden she sees the two guys she saw earlier in her bar, and now they're in her house, and so of course she's a little bit taken aback, and then Jacob tells her the reason why they're there, and so she says, "Okay, I'll help you, but I'm going along with you." So the four of them go ahead and break into the hospital, and they're looking for the records for Genevieve Martin, Jacob's aunt, and it so happens to be that Pia and Scott's mom, also worked at the hospital, and then one day she went to work and she never came back. They never really found out what happened. So they go inside the hospital uh, um, and sort of like slip into an urban explorer type mode for this movie. It's sort of like that. It's like it's not like it's all abandoned. So it's a cross between a paranormal and a little bit of urban exploration, which was a really nice touch, and it really explained the lighting. Um, and then we start seeing weird stuff from the past. You start seeing supernatural entities coming forward and whatnot, um, and then before you start thinking about this movie, it's like, when did this movie take place? Is this a movie that took place in the 30s and the 40s? It's not. That what we're seeing is from the 80s, and that is a really really twisted concept, because the fact that they're saying that the 80s is sort of like the new 30s, it really worked well. Robert Patrick played the mean doctor. I think maybe he started out intending to be a good doctor, but he has become a mad scientist doctor. And of course, one of the first things you do after when you do urban exploration is first golden rule is never separate. And of course, that's what happens. Scott gets separated from Dell. Dell gets separated from Pia and Jacob, and then all sorts of shenanigans happen. And pretty soon we start seeing paranormal events, ghosts. Everybody starts going back into that time where the hospital was working, and soon enough we start having victims. Uh, the ending of the movie is really interesting to me. I don't want to give it that too much away. The ending is we find out really what happened to Pia's mother and Scott's aunt, and it is really twisted. It is not what you think it is. It's different. Um, the only thing that really sort of confused me at the very end of the movie was like, okay, I think what happened. I think what happened was, uh, I think that would. I don't know what I think. You're gonna have to figure that one out and then come back and tell me. Drop a comment down below if you've seen Eloise. Um, it's a really interesting movie. I liked it. The ending's a little bit up in the air for me, but I thought it was really well done. I like the music. I like the lighting. Um, I like the shooting on location. It's a really cool place. It's a great place to make a scary movie at, a ghost movie. Um, and it's well done. The lighting is poor, but it has to be. It has to be. But the flashbacks of the movie, man, tops. It's really cool. This is a nice little gem. I have to admit, this. I was not expecting this. Not to be this good. I mean, I knew it was gonna be all right because that has Eloise Dusku, and she doesn't do anything bad. It's one thing I have to say about her. She makes smart choices. This is not a. This is a pretty good movie. It was a strong cast. This movie is actually directed by a gentleman named Robert Legato. And he has his fingers on the pulse. He did a really nice job by this movie. And I'm gonna see if he's done anything since then. Yeah, actually he has. He's done a few things. As far as this is actually, I think, his first movie as a director. He's made 7 movies, and that one. And let's see, what did he do? Let me find out what movies he directed first. Actually, this is his 6th movie he made. He directed some Star Trek. He directed Next Generation, and then he did a. Actually, this is his first feature film. This is his feature. This is his feature film debut as a director. So very well done. Like I said, 2016. All right, that's it. Oh yeah, there's no special features on here, unfortunately. It was pretty bare bones for Vertical Entertainment. You should be able to get this pretty easily. Secondary markets, like Hamilton Book or Walmart or Best Buy or whatnot. Shouldn't be having any problem at all getting this movie. It's only 7 years old, so yeah. So that's Dollar Tree Theater. All right, we're gonna put some new movies up that you guys can vote for. And if you can, please do so. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, let you know whenever I drop a new video. And then if you've seen Eloise, drop a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. We answer everything back. And thanks for watching, and we will see you next week for more Dollar Tree Theater.